Picture this, a December evening in Mayfair, London, where the city's most exclusive nightclub buzzes with energy, champagne flows freely, and among the glamorous crowd, a young princess steps out with the man who would capture her heart for nearly a decade. The date was December 13, 2012, the venue was the legendary Lulu's, and the couple at the center of attention was none other than Princess Beatrice of York and her American boyfriend, Dave Clark. What unfolded between these two over the years would become one of the most intriguing and heartbreaking love stories in modern royal history, a relationship that promised so much yet ended in a way that left royal watchers stunned and searching for answers. Before we dive deep into this captivating tale, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our exclusive royal content. Share this video with anyone who loves a good royal romance story, and drop a comment below telling us what you think really happened between Beatrice and Dave. Princess Beatrice Elizabeth Mary, the eldest daughter of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, has always occupied a unique position within the British royal family. Born on August 8, 1988, she grew up in the public eye yet maintained a relatively private personal life compared to her cousins. By the time that December evening at Lulu's rolled around, Beatrice had been dating Dave Clark for several years, and their relationship had become one of London's worst-kept secrets among high society circles. Dave Clark was not your typical royal boyfriend. He was an American businessman working his way up the corporate ladder at Virgin Galactic, Richard Branson's ambitious space tourism venture. Born in the United States but comfortable navigating British aristocratic circles, Clark possessed the perfect blend of ambition, charm, and discretion that made him an ideal partner for a modern princess trying to balance royal duty with personal happiness. Their relationship reportedly began around 2006, when they met through mutual friends at Beatrice's boarding school. What started as a friendship gradually blossomed into something deeper, and by the time they were photographed together at Lulu's that winter evening in 2012, they had already weathered 6 years together, navigating the unique challenges that come with dating a member of the British royal family. Lulu's itself was the perfect backdrop for their appearance. Nestled in the heart of Mayfair, this members-only club has long been a sanctuary for celebrities, aristocrats, and the globally wealthy seeking privacy and exclusivity. With its opulent interiors, discreet staff, and strict no-photography policy, it represented exactly the kind of venue where Beatrice and Dave could enjoy something approximating a normal evening out, even as they remained acutely aware of the paparazzi waiting outside. What made their relationship particularly fascinating to royal observers was how normal they seemed together. Unlike some royal romances that appeared strained by protocol and public pressure, Beatrice and Dave genuinely appeared to enjoy each other's company. Photographs from that evening and numerous other public appearances showed a couple comfortable in their own skin, laughing together, sharing private jokes, and displaying the kind of easy affection that suggested a deep and genuine connection. Dave Clark was often praised for how he handled the pressures of dating a princess. He maintained his own successful career trajectory, never appearing to ride on Beatrice's royal coattails, and he demonstrated remarkable patience with the intense media scrutiny that came with being romantically linked to the Queen's granddaughter. Friends of the couple frequently described him as grounded, intelligent, and possessing a dry sense of humor that perfectly complemented Beatrice's own personality. Throughout their relationship, which would ultimately span nearly a decade, Beatrice and Dave attended countless events together. They were spotted at royal weddings, charity galas, exclusive parties, and intimate dinners across London and beyond. The couple traveled together, enjoyed ski vacations with Beatrice's family, and seemed to seamlessly blend their professional lives with their personal relationship. Dave was reportedly welcomed by Beatrice's parents, Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, who appreciated his respectful demeanor and genuine care for their daughter. Even more significantly, he was said to have gotten along well with other members of the royal family, no small feat given the complex dynamics and protocols involved in royal circles. As the years passed, speculation about an engagement grew increasingly intense. Royal watchers analyzed every appearance, every piece of jewelry Beatrice wore, searching for signs that Dave was about to propose. The couple had been together longer than many married couples, they were clearly committed to each other, and by all appearances, they were deeply in love. So what was the holdup? The answer, as it often does in royal relationships, likely came down to the complex intersection of personal desire, professional ambition, and royal expectation. Dave Clark's career was flourishing at Virgin Galactic, where he had risen to a senior position. The job required significant travel and flexibility, potentially making it difficult to fully embrace the responsibilities and restrictions that would come with marrying into the royal family. Similarly, Beatrice herself was navigating her own career path, working in business and trying to establish her own identity beyond her royal title. The pressures facing any couple in such a high-profile relationship are immense, but when you add royal protocol, media scrutiny, and the weight of centuries of tradition, those pressures become almost unbearable. Every decision, from where to live to what careers to pursue, becomes exponentially more complicated when one partner is a princess and the other is trying to maintain independence and professional credibility. Behind the glamorous appearances at places like Lulu's, behind the carefully composed photographs and the public displays of affection, there were undoubtedly countless private conversations about their future. Questions about marriage, children, career sacrifices, geographical compromises, and how to balance love with ambition must have consumed hours of their time together. Then, in the summer of 2016, the news broke that stunned royal watchers around the world. After nearly 10 years together, Princess Beatrice and Dave Clark had ended their relationship. The breakup was announced quietly, with minimal fanfare, and both parties requested privacy during what was clearly a difficult time. The reasons given were vague, citing the usual explanations about growing apart and wanting different things, but the reality was likely far more complex. Speculation ran rampant in the media. Some suggested that Dave's career ambitions and frequent travel had created an insurmountable distance between them. Others theorized that the pressure to marry and produce royal heirs had become too intense. Still others wondered if the couple had simply reached a point where they realized their visions for the future were incompatible, no matter how much they cared for each other. What made the breakup particularly poignant was the timing. Beatrice was 27 years old, an age when many women in her social circle were settling down and starting families. She had invested nearly a decade in a relationship that had seemed destined for marriage, only to find herself suddenly single and starting over. For Dave, the decision to walk away from a princess and everything that relationship represented must have been equally wrenching. The aftermath of their split revealed just how meaningful their relationship had been. Both Beatrice and Dave were reportedly devastated, and friends close to the couple suggested that the decision to separate had not been made lightly. This was not a case of a relationship that had run its course or passion that had faded. Instead, it appeared to be a heartbreaking acknowledgement that sometimes love alone is not enough when faced with insurmountable practical obstacles. In the years since their breakup, both have moved on with their lives. Beatrice eventually married property developer Edoardo Mapoli Mazzi in 2020, in a small, intimate ceremony during the pandemic. She appeared to have found happiness and settled into married life with grace and contentment. Dave Clark, meanwhile, continued his successful career and maintained a relatively low profile, staying out of the royal spotlight that had followed him for so long. Looking back at that December evening at Lulu's in 2012, when Beatrice and Dave seemed so happy and so secure in their relationship, it is impossible not to feel a sense of melancholy about what might have been. They represented a modern royal romance, one that seemed to transcend tradition and protocol, proving that a princess could find love with someone outside the aristocratic circles that had traditionally provided royal spouses. Their story serves as a reminder that even the most privileged lives come with unique challenges and that royal status does not insulate anyone from heartbreak. The pressures that ultimately drove Beatrice and Dave apart are the same pressures that countless couples face, magnified by the extraordinary circumstances of royal life. The question that lingers is whether things might have turned out differently under other circumstances, in another time, or with different choices made along the way. What do you think ultimately led to Princess Beatrice and Dave Clark's split after 10 years together? Was it the pressure of royal life, conflicting career ambitions, or something else entirely?